Hello and welcome to another episode of the Principal Liner Notes. I am so excited to have the great principal of Memorial Pathway Academy from Garland, Texas, ISD. You know him as Josh Tovar. He is here. We have already laid the groundwork for a future episode, maybe two or three future episodes of Principal Liner Notes. Josh, welcome, my friend. It's so great to have you here finally.
Sean, wow, I can't believe it. My 3 o'clock in the morning self can't believe that I'm on here on the other side of the podcast. Hey, everybody, Josh Tovar, Principal Memorial Pathway Academy here with the Principal Liners Note. That guy, his picture's right below mine on Zoom. Oh, you're right there? Okay, got it.
Oh, so
Hey,
we're
it's a
either way,
joy.
either way.
It's a joy. I've been following this guy. He's a treasure. He brings knowledge that wakes me up. I don't need a pre-workout. His brain wakes me up. It's just awesome to be here. Most importantly, I truly enjoy the way that you bring leadership to that thing that ties every single last human being as we discuss music together. Because you know what? They go hand in hand. Hey, an educator out there, you know that when you're rolling up to your campus, you know you're playing that song if you know that's gonna be that kind of day. You know what song, I don't know what it is, but for you, you know you're going to be playing that song to say, get in the zone, get in the zone. So I'm very fortunate to make sure that I'm here at the Principal's Liner Note. Let's go. Let's get this party started, brother.
Dude, let's do this. It is so refreshing because you and I are bandmates. You and I are brother principals, and you are somebody that I admire on for a lot of different reasons. I know that sometimes we work out together virtually. We get up at the crack of dawn because we got to take care of our own culture in order to take care of the culture that sustains us. So real quickly, I'm very curious. We touched upon this at the beginning, and I know we texted a little bit about this too. What are those albums or what are those songs like when you are in the gym? What's the soundtrack? What's the motivation? What's the motivational musical force for you?
You know what, Sean? I'm an eclectic listener to everything. I'll go from Marilyn Manson to Madonna. I'll go from Motley Crue to Mozart. But when I'm in the gym, it has to be 80s metal. I'm sorry, they're still number one on my top Billboard chart. Doesn't matter what it is, Queensryche, Prong, Motley Crue. It doesn't matter. But you know what? Sometimes I require something on the other side of the brain, so I reach out to some Latin pop, some Paulina Rubio. Like what? Exactly. I could go. Hey, you know what? Sometimes I could get some Ariana Grande in there. I don't know, because there's certain songs that speak to us as human beings, as spiritual creatures, whatever that spirit might be. And sometimes you need that part of yourself. As you said, we got to care for ourselves before we care for others. And when you're at the gym, not only you're caring about this shell, this temporary shell right here, but you're also caring about the spiritual self of being. And those songs are the ones that get you going. So if you show up to your workplace in the classroom as a bus attendant aide, as a cafeteria worker, as an administrator, you choose to arrive to that place in a zone. And if you know that there's a song that motivates you to be in the positive zone because you're going to deliver that love, that spirit to others, pick that song. And if you know that there's toxicity in life, it happens to all of us. We all have toxicity in life. You know what? You need to make sure that as that educator that's going to inspire other colleagues, that's going to inspire other kids, that you put on those songs. And for me, early in the morning, by the time I'm at the gym at 4:05, I'm already blaring 80s song nonstop, and it's just over and over. I gotta get some sugar poured on me. Let me tell you, that's the only way, brother. That's the only way, brother. I mean, I got me some Def Leppard, bro. I need to have that. So hey, don't
I
choke on your
can't with
coffee.
you. I can't with you, man.
We've been
Oh,
throwing songs around. Hey, before you all logged in, we were throwing songs and damn Yankees, those damn Yankees. You know, we were throwing everything around here.
oh man, you are a day maker. Oh my gosh. 80s rock. I grew up in the 80s. I can hang with you on some AC/DC. I can hang with you on some Ozzy. I can hang with you on some Metallica and Justice for All. We talked about Billy Idol. Eyes Without a Face to me is one of the most underrated songs. That's actually a pretty good workout song. So when you drive into the schoolhouse, when you drive into MPA, what's on the radio? What is your go-to fight song? Like, all right, I'm going in here. I got the Eye of the Tiger. Maybe it is Eye of the Tiger.
No, but Stranglehold, Ted Nugent, or Autograph, turn up the radio. If you guys need a song to pump you up, those two, listen to it. Just the tone. Autograph, dun 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 dun. It's slow and it gets that hard going. Or you can't go crazy, Ted. Dan, 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 dan. Oh, if that doesn't get you going, you need to go get some special pills from the doctor, because you don't need any special pills. But if you can't get hyped up to those two songs, you need to see medical attention. That's all
Now,
I'm telling you.
one of the things I love about your leadership, Josh, is your unabashed joy. And I'm a former middle and high school principal. Currently, I'm an elementary school principal. My last two principal assignments have been elementary, and I want to, when I retire one day, I want to be able to say that I have taught at every academic level, which I have, and I have led at every academic level, elementary, middle, and secondary. And one of the things about secondary that I think there's a lot of myths and there's a lot of misunderstandings about middle and high school. And what I love about your leadership is that you really push against that mindset. You push against those myths of, like, middle school is crazy, high school, they're big, they're horrible, all of these things. Um, so and you do a lot of intentional things to push against that mindset. And I would love our listeners to know what are those specific things that they do if they don't follow what you do on Twitter and Instagram.
Look, everybody, I just could bring to you the receipts, as our awesome prime time in Colorado says. I got the receipts. So look, everybody. We're not in the math business. We're not in the science business. We're not in the English business. We're in the people business. That's what we are. It doesn't matter what
Mhm.
stage of education you're in. We're in the people business. And kids and adults don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you cannot connect with anybody if they don't feel that semi Velcro-ish union with each other. And I agree with you, Sean. A lot of educators at the top level, well, they should know. We're teaching them for the real world. Yeah, but you don't turn in your grades on time. You show up tardy to faculty meetings. And you know what? That is so elementary. Oh, that is no. That is very human and nurturing. And we need to make sure that we treat every kid like it was our kids. And remember, if you have a child in elementary, middle school, or high school, you as a parent would love to have a certificate in your hand from your kid. You would love to have a parent positive phone call. You would like to have all those things. And that's exactly what we need to do, to always encourage the spirit. The great leaders in the classroom, the great leaders that sit in our chair, Sean, always motivate and inspire the self of the individual. And by making sure that they feel that connection one way or the other, that you bring life and you breathe spirit into the campus, the bloodstream of each hallway. And that is by making sure that you establish, as I discussed with Darren Pepard, the constant routines, the patterns of behavior in the campus of celebrations, because we like to be celebrated in different ways, but the human spirit appreciates the acknowledgement of hard work and success. And that's who we are in this country. This melting pot, this awesome, that this immigrant came from another country, honors hard work and dedication. And that's why we keep on coming, guys. Hey, Iowa, we keep on coming over here because this country provides for us the opportunity of hard work and dedication to one's craft. And we do believe in the American dream. That's why we are here in this country. And within that whole body that is our campus, we need to make sure that we honor the hard work, the dedication of the cafeteria worker, of the custodian, of the receptionist, of the instructional aide, everybody in there. And it's by making sure that you, hey, you leader in South Dakota, hey, you leader in Iowa, hey, you in Idaho, you need to make sure that you establish patterns of behavior of success. Because you know what? If you have a grievance from one colleague to another one, or you have three girls getting in a fight, that just took your whole day.
Yeah.
Maybe more days over one incident. If you inject in the body positivity nonstop, that creates a culture of success, a culture of respecting each other, and you need to role model that expectation. So we just established those patterns of behavior. If you like, I could go into detail so that people can, I honestly, please open up and steal everything that I do. Would you want me to mention some of those things?
Please keep going, man. This is great wisdom.
Okay, on Mondays, and before any of those, because there's haters, you know this, Sean, you know there's haters at our level as administrators. Oh Lord, are there haters? Okay, look, what I'm about to present to you, obviously because of the populations, I do it at different stages. I've done this in a 6A in Texas. I don't know what is that in New York or New Jersey, but a 6A in Texas is the biggest, fattest school, 2,550 kids. So what I'm about to present to you, I've done it there, and I've also done it at the school that I'm at with 400 kids,
Wow.
300 something kids, okay? So these are the same things. Every Monday, all staff members get a pack of M&Ms with a quote to start off the day. It's a marvelous Monday. In this little school, I'm able to do that, and I transfer it over to the kids. I deliver to every classroom a lollipop with a positive message on it. That's Marvelous Monday. We celebrate the adults, we celebrate the kids, and there's a guy that I know. Which way are you? Over here. This guy always says, what do we call it? Celebrating Monday?
Celebrate Monday.
Celebrate Monday. Hey, that guy inspired me right there. That guy right there. So on Tuesday is the day where we honor our teachers of the day. So we'll get to Wednesday, which is student of the week. On the students of the week, nominate a teacher of the day. And we always believe in growing the seeds, right? Our kids are our seeds, and how we germinate them. We give them water, we give them, and it's all with positivity. And so those kids nominate a teacher. And we go, our school has every single last language in the planet. And I take all the kids that speak different dialects, and we go congratulate those teachers, and we put a little cutout of a plant, and we hang it outside their door that they were teacher of the day. On Wednesday, it's always student of the week, unless scheduling, early release dates, things like that. Or maybe I'm not on campus because of training. I want to make sure that I lead that, because it starts and ends alpha and omega in our chair as the leaders. Because remember what Todd Whitaker says: when the principal sneezes, the school gets a cold.
That's
So it's
right.
very important. That's our influence. So we do student of the week. We honor. We have middle school, we have high school, we have a non-traditional program. We honor them. We give them certificates. I am a share owner of Dollar Tree, because we have a lot of stuff from Dollar Tree. All right. And I'm very angry that balloons are $1.50 now, but that's besides the point. So not only that, but on Wednesday, we pop through the week. Every team member gets popcorn in the afternoon to let them know, hey, we're popping through the week. We're almost there. Thursday is College Thursday, and our counselors do an awesome job of talking about college, but we spotlight two universities. And I always ask the kids, where were you a year ago? You weren't expected to be here at MPA. This is a special school. Where were you a year ago? You don't know where you're going to be in 2 years. So you might run into this college, this university. And I don't give them, I give them some of the traditional ones, Baylor and Texas Tech and UCLA. But what about those little D2 schools? They don't know about those, but they're there. They're all over. So it's my job to spotlight on those. And always making sure that we connect it to what the purpose is as we move forward. And Friday is Sweet by Friday, curbside delivery. In a big school, what I do is I have the big principal's conference room and a bunch of donuts, and we sit down. Hey, you want to talk to me? Talk to me there. If you're angry, eat a donut, get the sugar in you, and talk to me sweet. All right. At least your tongue's gonna be sweet. I don't know the messages, but I write down everything you tell me. Right now in the little school, it gives me the time to go door to door and find out, hey, what's going on? Is there anything you need? Here's a donut, anything that you want. So it's those and we're still missing some other things, but those are those weekly, daily patterns of behavior that take time. But hey, principal in New Mexico, would you not rather spend your time acknowledging positivity than dealing with negativity, toxicity? Look right here. I'm
Right.
already getting ready for students of the week, and I write them a card. All those kids that are students of the week and their birthday cards, I'm about to send a birthday. I always celebrate every day. Every Saturday, I send their birthdays for the upcoming week. And students of the week, I mail them those cards. And we're about to mail, I think we are at 105. The teachers write 2 thank you cards for kids and one to a fellow colleague. And we mail those out once per month. And then during lunchtime, at that same time, the kids write a thank you card to their teachers and they hang them all over the room. They hang them all over the room. So these are the patterns of behavior, the consistency that has to start and end with the people that sit in your chair, Sean, and my chair. And if you don't have that, and you're just dealing with recidivism, with people being ugly to each other, with kids being nonstop in your campus, then you know whose fault it is? You.
That's right.
You, because that's your leadership. So
Yes.
spend the time on positivity or spend the time of negativity. That's not my choice. That's yours.
Amen, Josh. And a couple of takeaways. And as I say in the podcast, what you just said in the last 5 minutes, that's a rewindable moment. That needs to be on a constant loop. And it echoes, you mentioned Todd Whitaker, because I had him on the podcast day before yesterday. And we talked a lot about culture and we talked a lot about leadership. And he said that leadership is not an event. You can't build culture in these kind of isolated events. You have to be consistent, just like working out. If you want results, you have to be consistent. And that's the same thing with culture. And it has to be a choice. I love how you frame that, in that you can, positivity is a choice. Negativity is a choice. Now, if you want to live with negativity and toxicity, and that's your move, if you want to be in that drama, that's your choice. Don't complain about it. Positivity, I think, and I think I know what you're saying is, it is better to choose and default to positivity. And again, yes, there's a time to be real. I love how you take the time to receive the reality, but you're not gonna take those complaints or those issues or those concerns and make that a choice to be negativity. Okay, give it to me. Let me and let's handle it together and see how we can transform that negativity into being something positive to prevent that toxicity from impacting the culture. That's powerful.
Right. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. Hey, Wisconsin, don't get me wrong. I got my stuff to deal with.
Yeah, man.
I'm not in the land of unicorns and rainbow. I deal with the human element, the human factor. And it doesn't matter how much positivity you get on some adult or some kid. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here, listen to me. Hey, Washington, Oregon. Hurt people hurt people. Understand me. Understand that there's no ideal school, there's no ideal classroom, there's no ideal format. But whatever you do have power and control, you got to make sure you exercise that influence to diminish the level of toxicity. So I'll take the radiation and 1 instead of the radiation and 10. So it's very important. And you know what? I learned that, and I like what you said right now, Sean. I learned it from my mom. My mom was an educator. She was always a freshman teacher on a border school at Thomas Jefferson High School. She only dealt with freshmen. My mom, bro, compared to me, my mom was she was a Lilliputian, all right? She was one of the most feared women in that campus. She
Hmm.
didn't yell, she didn't scold. So people that tell me they have a discipline problem, you're the problem, not the kids. She
Right
was
on.
consistent, fair, and loving. Consistent, fair, and loving. Consistent, fair, and loving. But she didn't put up with anyone's garbage. Why do I tell you that? Because she didn't put up garbage from administrators. And I learned a lot what not to do from my mom. Hey, Sean, you know who the Weebies are? Have you heard of the Weebies?
No, who are the
The,
Weebies?
Weeb- the Weebies are
Weepies.
found in New York, in California, In Maine, Alaska, Trinidad and Tobago, they have weebies. These are the teachers on the campus that say, we be here before you, we be here after
Oh yeah,
you.
we're gonna outlast you. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly.
Weebies. I got you.
The weebies, all right? So my mama was a weebie. She wasn't like a straight out toxic weebie, but she would say this. Ah, those administrators, they think they could make me happy for a sandwich in a bag once per year. Ah, you're not gonna make me happy with a donut during Teacher Appreciation Week. You walk past me, you don't even say hi to me when I'm at the door. Those administrators don't know what they're doing. As a good son, I listen to all those comments, and you know what? She might be a weebie, she might be an ankle biter, but that was truth. Drop the mic. That is the truth. And you know what? That's what a lot of people that sit in our chair. I've seen it and witnessed it, that think that Teacher Appreciation Week, when I splurge on you, makes up for your deficiency, your absentee landlordism for the past couple of months. And it does not at all. It does not at all fulfill that need as a support, because that's what we are. I don't know if you believe in the same thing that I do, Sean, but I believe my job is to support and remove obstacles, support and remove obstacles, support and remove obstacles, nonstop for everybody on there. But it's all focused on one thing: helping kids. What is in the best interest of kids, not adult comfort? What's in the best interest of kids, not adult comfort?
Yes.
And if we stick to that mantra, we stick to that rowing like those big Yale kids, rowing in the same direction, that school will go only to the moon. That will only go to the moon, understanding that we're in the kid business, working for each other, but being consistent with those patterns of behavior. What do you think about that?
That's beautiful, brother. I love that. Before that's another rewindable moment, man. Before we started recording, you didn't just drop the mic. You threw the mic at me and you called me out on something, and I accepted it. And I accept the challenge of, because you it was beautiful. We should have recorded that, because you said, you called me out on Led Zeppelin. And you know I'm a Beatles guy, and you know I'm a Traveling Wilburys guy, and then you kind of saw my Beatles and raised me Led Zeppelin. You saw my Traveling Wilburys and raised me damn Yankees. So you saw my Rolling Stones and you raised me Queensryche. So you went there. So and you are absolutely right in that if we look back at every podcast episode, well, no, I take that back. I take that back. I did do a leadership one, but I kind of did. I did do something on Led Zeppelin years ago, and the song remains the same, and talked about how that moment in that, because that probably is my favorite Led Zeppelin song, that and Fool in the Rain. But he did where Robert Plant says push, push, push. Think about that. I did. I did.
John Gator, the route was post, not a drag. It was similar, but it was not the same. Don't try to make up for it. No, no, sir.
All right,
You're on
brother.
the sideline. That was not it. It's not comparable. What
Okay.
you're bringing up is not comparable.
You're right. You're right. Because that Led Zeppelin reference was one of three references in that episode. You're right. You're right. I didn't do like a full blown Led Zeppelin. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. So what we'll do here is lay the groundwork, because I'm gonna see your challenge, because
Ah,
I will not just do a simple Zeppelin reference, but I see me I'm going to do 3 Led Zeppelin, full blown Led Zeppelin episodes for you.
I love it.
I'm going to
I
take it
love
up
it.
a notch. So,
Hey, podcast listener, just so you know, if you don't do what I do, the best way to feel the spirit of a podcaster is start in episode 1 and see the evolution. See the what this man right here, what his thoughts have been, not only the love for his daughters, not only the love for his business and his students. This guy speaks, he'll take you walking down the street to his favorite album store,
dude,
but everything is tied in together. This is a different type of podcast. So if you need someone that is relatable to what we really are as principals, not to negate the 10 other thousand podcasts I listen, not at all. This is specifically a podcast that is the everyday dad administrator. This dude right here is an awesome dad. You guys got to follow him on social media, but now you could see that dadism is at his campus. So follow his journey. Hey, you know what? I still think about you. I think it was episode 50 where you wanted to tap out. You
I
wanted to
did.
tap out from you wanted to tap out of the podcast.
I
And I
did.
go, bro, calm down. I don't want to hear your negative Nancy at 4:50 in the morning. Chill out, bro. You're fine. You're good. You might not have 1,000 listeners. You might not have 10,000 listeners. You might not be Joe Rogan, but you know what? You connect with one human being in North Dallas.
Mm.
And that is one of the things. So that's why I suggest other people out there to listen to this guy. I listen to a bunch of people, right? You know, my brain needs to adapt to all the different ideas. But this gentleman right here brings something to the table that is not usual. And I had to call him out because, yeah, I like the Beatles. Who does not like the Beatles? But I'm all Beatled out. So I needed some Zeppelin. But you see, I couldn't pick something that was heavier because that's not him. Knowing his podcast, I can't go too heavy. I think that the Led Zeppelin is within his genre of
It is.
humanity, but it's also within his genre of listening. So that's why I called him out.
You did, man.
So
I appreciate that, and I appreciate that push, because there was at one point where I was, why am I doing this? And as I told you, the purpose of the podcast, because it took me a while, and I'm glad we've been on the journey together. It's all about amplifying the voices of others. It's all about connecting with that principal in Arkansas or Florida, or that leader in Virginia, or North Dallas, or wherever. And then also we need an outlet. Principals, this is my outlet to connect and to learn and to grow. And that's so important for iron to sharpen iron, which is one of your phrases that you drop a lot. Speaking of phrases that you drop a lot, Josh, you do your own level of social media and live casts and podcasts and those things. And I would love the listeners to know about that immersive journey of your collaborations and the things that you drop and do, because it's very powerful, it's very intentional, and it's very uplifting. And I love how there's like kind of like you've got like these different levels, like you've got your own little network that you do with your collaborators. So I'd love for you to kind of share all of those levels and how it all connects and intersects.
I would like to thank you very much for that, Sean. And we've had Sean on the show in the past for different formats. The show was created by Dean Packard and Chris Starcheski. I'm sorry, this Mexican just can't say certain names. All right,
All right,
it
brother.
don't come out all the way.
No
And so
judgment, brother.
Chris and Dean created this at the start of the pandemic, and then throughout, as everyone did their podcast at the start of the pandemic, educators,
That's right.
and along the way, I post out a lot of things on social media, and your circles, your algorithm starts connecting you with other similar thought process, similar posts. And so Dean reached out to me and to come on. He says, "Hey, you're a turnaround principal. Yeah. Where are you at? Oh, I was in El Paso at that time. Oh, well, come on the show." And since then, the format of the show has evolved drastically, just like this guy's show right here. I don't know where you're at on Zoom. This guy right here.
Either way,
Uh,
it's fun. Yeah.
and so it's evolved because it was just a constant panel of principals, but they weren't able to do it routinely. And so Dean threw out an idea. Hey, how about we expand the shows? And I go, sure. What's your vision? What do you want to do? Remember, this is a Dean show. This is a Chris show. This is all them. I'm just along for the ride. That's all I am. And so they just throw out, hey, what about this? What about that? I go, okay, that sounds cool. So then the show maintained the flagship show on 7 p.m. And there we have specific speakers, specific authors. That's the purpose of that show, that we get that knowledge that tool set from those people. You know, we're about to get Joe Sanfilippo. We got Jorge Valenzuela coming up. We're gonna
Nice.
finish this month with an AI show from Jimmy's branch. We're gonna have all these people promoting their books, their ideas for educators. Then, oh, how about we do more of the panel kind of stuff because Dean liked that panel kind of thing. So go, okay, what do you want to call it? Oh, you know, it's Thursday, it's football season. So it's like, oh, the red zone touchdown, you know, score a touchdown. And so that's where we had the panel. We just had different topics. That's where in summer we get awesome podcasters, podcast smash. We bring all educators together to speak with one voice. This past Wednesday, we had the Women in Leadership Part 2. A
Nice.
bunch of principals and superintendents, women leaders talking their truth. We've had EB. I don't know. They call us so many different EB, LEB, ELL. I don't know what I am anymore. My kids, I don't know what they are, but it's about emergent bilinguals, migrant students. We've had those shows. We've had basic teacher shows. We've had bus driver shows. We had all those things because you know what? That's our niche.
Mm.
Those are our customers. Those are our support personnel that need to learn what's happening in the schools. And then Dean says, well, what about something quick? And I go, well, what do you mean something quick? Yeah, something quick, something that, you know, we just drop it in. And so that's where Dean came up with another idea, which is a 20-minute problem solving show, which is called office hours. Just like in college, you have those office hours to
Yeah.
talk to your professor. Well, we bring in administrators from all over the country and we give a real life, every single last one. We're in season 2. Every single one has been a real life event. And let me tell you, Hollywood cannot make up the stuff we go through, right, Sean?
That's right.
Hollywood cannot make up the stuff that we go through. If America really knew what we go through and we see, you'll be like, no, you're making that up. No,
Yeah.
Hollywood could not make that up. And so it's 20 minutes and we try to hit the mark. If you don't know, I'm very OCD, very compulsive. We have to kill it at 20 minutes. And
It's
so we
true.
start off, we start off with just some real quick like get to know you stuff that I learned from other podcasters, just get to know you kind of things. And then the scenario, boom, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? And we have people that are assistant principals, people that are principals, and there you learn how people deal with it at their experience of life in the profession. And you see a radical thing. I'm not like, oh, you could tell this person, oh, you could tell this person that has experience. And then at the end, we just close it off real quick with giving some quick advice to a brand new teacher, a brand new assistant principal, brand new principal. We're in, we're out 20 minutes. So those 3 programs have not only, I feel, made this country a little bit better, but I know for sure it's made me better.
Right on. Oh man, I love everything that you all put out, and what I love, and I've been fortunate to be on a couple of times, and I love the collaborative aspect, but also the invitation, and how it's you all are very intentional in what you put out and crank out, and it's consistent. Again, getting back to that if iron's going to
Pattern
sharpen
of behavior.
iron, it's got to be consistent. That culture of consistency, that culture of predictability, and that creates that growth and that connection that's so important. And educators, and again, you do it so artfully, you, Dean, and Chris, and I'm really I'm always pleased to see when you guys crank something out, and I subscribe, and I'm always getting something meaningful and new from it. And you guys push yourselves too, which I always appreciate. You're always kind of pushing that envelope just a little bit. Let's take
Right.
this a little bit further. Let's push ourselves, and make ourselves better and more excellent.
And that's what I was talking to Dean about the other day. And because you know what, just in the end, got to give the props to props always. You know what, Dean's the one that really put the recent history of all this together, arrange the alignment of everything. You know, shout out to Dean for putting all this stuff together. And so I'm very proud of it. But we're talking about it, and we said, hey, you know what, Dean? Based on just my experience, and again, I don't know everything. I don't get into a lot of podcasts like worldwide, but the content that we're putting out is really not seen in other podcasts
It's true.
in regards to the specific genres of having superintendent roundtables. We've had 6 of those about having EB specialists talk about how to support EB, special ed, all those genres, and having a array, not only a director of special ed, but a teacher in special ed, not only or an EB teacher, a director of EB, a consultant for EB. So it's those things that I think that bring true added value, like all the other podcasts do. But I think that, like you said, and I appreciate you saying that. I really do, Sean, because I think that it's those things. And even with our 20-minute show, the office hours, some of those things aren't spoken publicly.
No.
Some of those scenarios that have been put out, they're hush hush.
Yep.
You don't talk about those things. But how can we, just like you said, Sean, one of your goals on this podcast is to make someone better out there. How can we keep on lying to administrators? Because you know what, Sir Giovanni Confele was right. Sir Giovanni did not give us all the
Man.
answers. Sir Giovanni only gave us $180 textbook. Because let me tell you, reading that guy, I wish I had double monster in one. Because the reality of what we go through, hey, educator over there in, what haven't I mentioned? North Dakota. Hey, educator in Ohio. No chapter in Sir Giovanni has ever taught you about a student walking into your school with tiny roaches in their hair.
Yeah.
You will never be taught that by those professors at universities that I don't remember the last decade they were in the classroom. That they'll teach you all this philosophy, they'll teach you all of this stuff, and they never tell you, oh, what the real world is in the university, but they never educate you about the young lady that was molested migrating to the United States, and she starts crying when she's in the classroom because she still has that trauma. Am I lying on any of those scenarios, Sean?
Sir.
You know I'm not.
No,
And
sir.
you know what? You have this 26-year-old, 25-year-old new assistant principal that they dropped that on their lap, and then we expect them to be successful when there was no counseling or anything taught to them on how to deal with little tiny roaches coming out of the hair of the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah. I often say that the best lessons are the lessons that you don't learn in principal school. I always make a joke about that, especially during COVID, and we were dealing with all of the hybrid learning and remote learning. I said they didn't teach you this in principal school, and I had the realization that I was using that as an excuse to create a safety net for failure, and I realized, no, okay, they didn't teach this to you in principal school. I didn't read this in Sir Giovanni. I didn't read this in whomever, but this is the moment. This is the moment to learn, and this is the moment to act and respond accordingly. So what you're doing is very powerful in that you are giving. It's kind. I kind of envision your stuff as it's the meeting after the meeting, or it's the meeting after class, where everybody gathers around in the parking lot. And I remember that in principal school, or I remember that after a faculty meeting. What the hell just happened in the class,
Right.
or what the heck were we just talking about? And then it's that circle of friends and colleagues where you start exchanging ideas, and you go, and I kind of envision like you, Dean, and Chris, in that parking lot after that class, and it's late night, we want to get home, but we're trying to make sense out of what happened, or we're trying to make sense out of the day. And usually the parking lot, sometimes too can be that petri dish for toxicity. But
Yeah.
but but what I love is how I guess the image I'm trying to flip is you're flipping that, and you're taking back the parking lot and saying, no, there are these learning moments that you might not get at a conference, you might not get on social media, you might not get in a faculty meeting or a classroom. Here we are. Here's a trusted circle of experts and friends, or folks that we're not experts, we're just learning and trying to figure this stuff out. And here you are invited, and you're welcome to be here. And I think that's a lot of what you do. I think that's a lot of what I try to do, and build that connectivity and understanding and kinship.
Yeah. Oh no, it's so true. And it's those conversations that we need to have. But and let's just take this to like an awkward, part of the road. But, as Principal Cafetta says, I don't fake the funk. The problem is, Sean, I don't know. You don't have to say yes or no because we're both old, brother. We're
We are,
both 30.
man.
We're over 30 years in this business. The problem is that there's too many people that sit in our chairs that they think they're all that in a bag of chips and they don't want to hear advice. They don't want to hear someone else's point of view. They think, oh, and especially if you're a new person to that district, because there's a lot of people that you go to a brand new district, new
Yes.
philosophy. Oh, you're not one of us. You
Yeah.
do not merit an opinion. Oh no, I've done this before. Oh, we don't need to hear you. You're at that school. Like Ken Williams talks. You're in that school,
Exactly.
and so until we're open as assistant, and then I don't know. Hear me out.
I got
You
you.
know that there's a a thing about assistant principals at the high school looking down at assistant principals at the elementary.
It's
They don't
there.
even they don't even talk to them.
It's there.
Whenever you're at a district level meeting, they all do the click thing. What we tell kids not to do, only high school, deal with high school, middle school, I don't know, middle school are just trying to get sanity away from the classroom. And elementary, they're elementary. There's this style and thought process in our field where we could learn so much from each other, but there's this arrogance. There's this arrogance. Here we go. Let's go a little bit more uncomfortable. Put a middle school principal in a high school.
Mm.
Put a elementary principal in a high school and tell me there's no arrogance by that faculty and staff. Oh,
Yep.
they're not high school. They don't know what they're talking about. Let me dissect the frog a little bit more. That English for IB teacher or English for AP teacher talking about that English one.
Yeah.
Oh, they're freshmen. Regular. Okay.
Hmm.
How do English for AP teachers think about that freshman? And here we go, more uncomfortable. How about that freshman teacher about that eighth grade from the middle school coming up? Oh, they don't teach them anything. Here goes, ready? We've heard this universally. They baby them too much.
Hmm. Or it's not
And
real teaching, or it's not real learning, or they're not there, that wasn't a real assignment, or what have you. I mean, in education, sometimes we can be cannibals, and we can be our own worst enemy. And when we talk about collaboration, or vertical alignment, or empathy, we get stuck in our own silo. And it's something that in the work, in the current schoolhouse I'm in, we like to think that we are reimagining school by disrupting silos, and that's so important to do, especially when we're talking about human beings, when we're talking about our teachers and our TAs and our parapros that are on the front line. And it's important to have that human centeredness, and especially for our kids as well. Keeping the humanity at the center. Sometimes we can get in our own way and forget
yes,
who is at the center and why is at the center.
and as long as we understand, more of us understand that, Sean, because I know that in one of your episodes, you brought up, let me remember it correctly. You brought up that you had faced some adversity of someone not believing you to become a leader. I think
Yeah.
you were an English teacher, and then someone told you you're not admin material, something like that.
Yeah, I
Something
did.
within.
Yeah.
All right. You see? Hey, I follow the principal liner notes. Um,
Appreciate that, man.
and it's one of those things that instead of building each other up, we tear each other down
Yeah.
within our own four walls. And it's about building that family aspect. And you know what? Yeah, we're not gonna like each other sometimes. It's not gonna happen, but we could always remain professional and supportive of each other. I am not who I am.
Yeah.
I am not who I am without this beautiful, strong woman, Millie Williams. strong African American woman. This Hispanic had never seen African Americans. I had never worked with them. I'm in El Paso. It's all Mexicans. Understand that. It's a utopian society in El Paso. It's all Mexicans. There's an enclave where Fort Bliss of Army bases, that little enclave is America. It's little. It's the Northeast. And I left the valley for Hispanics to the Northeast. Oh my Lord. Woo, culture shock within the same city. We never had Asians. We never dealt with African Americans. We never dealt with that. But that lady, the moment I stepped, she didn't even hire me. The dude before her hired me in summer, and when I arrived, he had gone to another school.
Wow.
And Millie Williams, she made me, created me, believed in me. She pushed me to become an administrator. That is the spirit. That is Semper Fi. That is the idea, not only as a Marine, but if we all carried a little bit more the idea of always faithful within our institution, we would stop going down a hole that we're at with the exodus, with people moving up that don't have the experience, not being able to find substitute teachers. We need to make sure that we keep on creating a culture of being in the best profession. We are in the best profession, the profession that creates all the other professions, public education. And if we don't promote that, and we only promote teachers on strike, we only promote my principal stinks. Oh, these kids are horrible. How are we going to get any candidates?
That's right.
That's why they don't want to come here. We need to talk up and promote. Success breeds success. Positivity creates positivity. It all comes back to us. And if we don't do it as educators, oh Lord, the next 10 years. We're already feeling it right now. I don't know about you. I still have one vacancy. I don't know how many vacancies you have. I was barely only able to find substitutes this year. The past couple of years, we've had to cram kids together in classrooms. Who wants to come to a school and substitute a bunch of uncontrolled kids? Who? You over there in Maine? Hey, West Virginia, you want to go up to a bunch of 14-year-olds that are out of control that haven't had a teacher in 3 months? No.
No.
It's up to us to help each other out, love each other. You know what, Sean? You know this. I try my best every morning to send out 5 positive texts to people that I have met through, and always send out positive texts. You know, at least once every 3 weeks, I send out like around 350, 400 texts to everybody in my phone, letting them know, hey, bro, I got you. Right. I love you, bro. I love you because I walk your shoes and I know how hard it is, but I also know that we're in the best profession. We are in the best profession. But if we all don't do that, we're going to keep on fractionalizing. We're going to keep on breaking. And slowly, those little castle walls of public education will start breaking down. And you know who's affected? Our country, our beautiful country, because those kids are the ones that are going to be running it in the next 15 years. We need to support each other, love each other, and talk the best about our profession.
Wow, Josh, that actually, I don't even know how to follow that. It's like you can't, you know, if Led Zeppelin is your opening act, there shouldn't be a second act, right? And I am so grateful for you, brother, and so motivated by you. And I know our listeners all over are if you're not fired up, if your adrenaline is not pumping now, you might want to press rewind on this entire podcast and start all over again. Josh, how can people find and connect with you on social media and follow your beautiful journey and your beautiful story?
Thank you. Please follow me on X. Stop calling it Twitter. He told us not to call it Twitter. Let me real quick. I was presented at Texas ASCD last week, and there were every conference has like social media ambassadors from the people presenting, and so they came up to me. They knew who I was at Texas ACD and said, "Oh, these are our social media ambassadors." So I went up to them. I go, "Oh, hi, can I take your pictures? I'll promote you guys. You know, that's your job, so I'll support you." And I was asked, "Oh, what's your name?" Boom, boom, I was writing down, and I go, what's your ex?" What do you mean? What's my ex? What's your ex handle? I don't care about your former boyfriend. I don't care about your former husband. It was so awkward. It was the most awkward 4 seconds of my life. She looked at me like I was like hitting up on her. Like, no, gosh, no, no, no. What's your ex handle? Okay, so on my ex,
Easy, man.
it was just the story had to come out one day. So
That's
here's the
beautiful.
story. MPA underscore go Jaguars. MPA all capitals. MPA underscore Jaguars. And then I do like a side X, which is JT Spotlights. That's where I do more of Josh thoughts, Josh ideas. That's where I every morning I do at least 6 posts, just like good morning, what's celebrated around the country, what's celebrated around the world, quotes, what the just little things just to get out the day. I need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Right
And
on.
that's JT Spotlights. So those are my main two handles. You find that on all platforms. You can't you could find JT Spotlights on TikTok. Texas made me remove MPA Jaguars because Texas does not allow TikTok. Welcome to Red Zone. It is what it is. We play by the rules.
Got you.
But I would like to invite everybody on this one. Please go to our YouTube channel, JT Spotlights, because there every Tuesday and every Tuesday and every Thursday, I interview for 10 minutes one of our Jaguars. And I ask them their opinion on education, an opinion on who their favorite teacher was. And you know what? A lot of them tell them they don't have a favorite teacher. I ask them why kids ditch. I ask them if you know how teachers always say, take notes, take notes. Did anyone ever teach you how to take notes? What can a principal and assistant principal do to help you in these big schools? Because you know what? We never hear who? The customer.
That's right.
We never listen to the customer, especially in the arrogance of high school. Just get your credits and graduate. So the kids that I support, the kids that I love, my Jaguars are 3 programs: middle school from a new country, high school from a new country, and non-traditional from all the high schools, the kids that are teen parents, obstacles in life with the law, kids that are 18 with 6 credits, 9 credits, the ones that are really behind that will not succeed, that will not be successful in a comprehensive school with 8 hours per day. They only go with me for 4 hours and do a lot of stuff online. So we help them graduate. Those are the kids that fall through the cracks. Those are the kids that were never heard from. Those are the kids that are discipline issues. Those are the kids that tell F you to you because you scolded them for having their pants down, but they didn't eat last night. Or their mom came in from partying at 6 in the morning and told you to get their baby brother dressed. You didn't know that.
No.
And that kid, you're lucky that kid made it to school. And so I like interviewing them because we need to give them the voice because you know what? They are the future also.
That's right.
So we need to help them and support them. So listen to what those kids are saying because we need to adjust and adapt to who our customers are. They're not the Sony Walkman. They're of the 80s. They're not the laser disc. They're not the Napsters. They're not the downloads. This is something new, especially right now. After those 2 years of Netflix and a couch, this is something new out there. And if we don't adapt to their learning style, get out of town, baby. You're going to have a long, long, long haul, as Rita Pearson said. So please make sure that you follow those interviews, you check them out, and we'll be catching you. You're not alone. Hey, Maine, you're not alone. Reach out on social media. Hey, West Virginia, you're not alone. Reach out. Trust me, 97% of the people that you reach out on social media will reach back to you.
Right.
I'm telling you, they will reach back to you and they will connect to you. Oh, but I don't know them. I don't know anybody. I didn't know this guy. You think I knew this guy? I didn't know him. We reached out and we connected. And these are hundreds of people I've connected with, and people are willing to connect with you. The thing is that the cell phone works 2 ways. You need to reach out and you need to be able to connect. So connect with me at MPA underscore Go Jaguars or at JT Spotlights. Love it. Thank you for being here. And Sean Gaylord, keep on doing your magic. Keep on loving those awesome, beautiful daughters of yours. Go Appalachian State. Keep on killing giants. And most importantly, we'll see you on the flip side.
Oh, my man, my hermano. Thank you, Josh Tovar. You are truly a bandmate, a brother. Led Zeppelin has nothing on you. You know, gosh, man, I'm just so grateful for you, and I'm grateful for what you do. Thank you so much for being on the Principal Liner Notes podcast. You are welcome anytime, and I'm gonna raise you that Led Zeppelin. So I've got 3 episodes. I already took 3, jotted down 3 notes. We're gonna have a 3 mini-series episode gig for Led Zeppelin. I've already got the idea, and I thank you for inspiring me. But most importantly, Josh, I thank you for being who you are and what you bring to the profession and how you uplift and inspire and motivate us. So as I sign off here on the Principal Liner Notes podcast, this sign off is a tradition, and it also echoes what Josh does, and not just his work, it's his vocation, it's a calling, and it's a passion, and it definitely, the work of Josh Tovar definitely not only uplifts our profession, but it uplifts our world. So don't forget to share with the world your dreams, your hopes, your visions, and ideas, because the world needs them. And you, just like Josh, help make the world a better place. This is the Principal Liner Notes podcast. There is a flip side, and not only will I catch you there, but Josh will catch you there as well. Thank you, Josh. Thank you so much.